Do you know there are many places in Nigeria where snakes, pythons are worshipped? Are you aware? Because we have a lot of religions in Nigeria. So one of them is snake worshipping. It is not only in India where it is done or where it takes place. In our today's video, we're going to find out some of the places in Nigeria, where snakes or pythons are seen as God, where snakes or pythons are venerated, where snakes and snakes, pythons are worshipped. So in Nigeria we have the right of worship. You can worship anything you like or anything you can think of. So these places we are talking about, they took snakes or python worship as their god. That's their mode of religion. That's their mode of worshiping. That is what they worship. So, but let us find out in this our today's video titled "Where They Worship Snakes in Nigeria," after this intro. Hello everyone, Ogu Emmanuel is my name. If you are new in this channel, you are highly welcome. We give special thanks to all my returning subscribers and my esteemed viewers as well. If you don't mind, let's go straight into the video. The first place is Anambra State. In Anambra State, there's a place called Idemmili. The word Idemmili means the pillar that holds water. That is the meaning of Idemmili in English language. So it is a well-known community in Anambra State of Nigeria. So the name snakes or python is synonymous with the people from that area called Idemmili. In that area, python is cherished, venerated, and at the same time dreaded. It is not something that you handle anyhow or something that you can treat anyhow, because it is some people's gods. So, but there is this friendly understanding between the people of Idemmili and their relationship with their python as their gods. They have this strong bond. They have this strong spiritual and physical bond. And they have this belief that the power that is in it do not disappoint them. That the power in the snakes and the pythons answers them when they call. That is their belief. They live together like happy neighbors, So the pythons, which is regarded, which is a deity, is called Eke in Igbo language. Python is highly respected. It's a highly respected deity in this part of the world. People do respect it a lot. So there is a shrine dedicated to the worship of this age-long deity called Eke, that is python. So in several places, in several parts of Anambra State, including Idemmili and Ukpo, that is in Nnewi South local government area of Anambra State, Nigeria, it is highly forbidden to take the life of a python and green snakes. You cannot do that. So the buying of this creature, I hope you understand what I mean by buying, because of this social media complaints. So the buying of this creature comes with a great consequence. It's not something that you can do and go scot-free. There must be a lot of consequences are attached to it, because you must be made to bury the python just how normal dead human beings are being buried. You are going to give it a befitting burial with all rites of passing according to it. You must do that. You don't just bury python anyhow. So it might interest you to know that it has never been on record that the eke, that is the python, has once known to have ever pied any member of the community. It has never done that. So, but if there is a presence of a visitor, should in case somebody visited you in that place, and the visitor, that your visitor finds the presence of a python around, that your visitor is not comfortable with the presence of python around, then the python, which is eke, might be gently, easily be taken away. It must be taken away, but must not be harmed in any way or form for any reason. So the buying of python is completely forbidden. It has tremendous penalties because it is dedicated to the shrine. There's a shrine they dedicated the python, and that is where they are worshipped. That is where they are taken. That is where they are seen as their own gods. So the second place in Nigeria is the place we call Bayelsa State. There's a place in Bayelsa State called Nembe. Nembe in Bayelsa State. Just like in some of these above mentioned states in Nigeria. In Bayelsa, Nembe to be precise, the buying of this creature is highly forbidden. It's highly forbidden. In this snake worshipping community. You don't even think of it. It's just like somebody saying that is going to kill your God. You begin to look at that person somehow. So the buying of it is not tolerated. It is forbidden. So a story was once told of a youth copper, a national youth copper who buyed a snake in that area. Could you just imagine? The person don't buy problem for himself now. The person don't buy wahala. Nyanga they sleep. Trouble they sleep. Nyanga just carry in wahala, go wake and up. The youth copper who just was sent to that place, instead of minding his business, he went and buyed python in a python worshipping community. Could you beat that? So the breaking of this kind of law in that community attracted a serious sanction. The copper was made to pay the sum of 120,000 naira. The copper was considered though because the community know that the copper, has not started earning money. It's just like a student. What they are giving to the copper is just little stipend. Upon that, the copper was fined 120,000. So the money was used for the procurement of sacrificial materials. The things that they will use, they go use them to appease the deity that is in charge of python or snakes in the community. So python in Nembe community is seen as totem, and they believe that the spirit, being a deity, does appear through the python. They believe that they can receive a lot of spiritual powers and messages through this python. So whenever the python happens to maybe blocks the way, I will not say it's carelessly. Whenever the python blocks the way, maybe a major place where people used to pass through, or a kind of thoroughfare, or maybe it comes in their homes, maybe that is not convenient for them at that particular point in time. What they normally do is to use the traditional method. They have a traditional method of removing it, but cannot think of buying it. It's unthinkable in that area. You can't fathom it. So their reverence for python is a way of paying respect to it as their god. If not, it will invite the wrath of not just the gods, but the people as well. So it is worshipped, it is being worshipped. So this particular creature is respected in the land. No wonder it is given a befitting burial wherever a dead one is found in the Nembe community of Bayelsa State. So the third place in Nigeria where people worship snakes or python is another place called Imo State. It is not, when I say Imo State, it doesn't mean that it's every part of Imo State. There is a place called Mbidi in Imo State. Just like the other states in Nigeria where this kind of worship takes place, the Mbidi people of Oru West, local government area of Imo State, takes the python. They do take the python as their god, based on some investigations. It shows that most clans, most communities within this local government area, there are some communities like, you will see something like Okwodo, Imoha community, Ihite, Eziane, Umuabiaha, Ugbele community, Umuehi, Umuokpara, Umuekwe, Oziaumu, and Umuoji. These communities mostly worship the python. They see it as their gods. They gave it every dedication, every reverence, every worship. So even the members of these clans that I just mentioned now, that despite the influence of Western education, despite the influence of all these churches here and there, all these ministries here and there, all these places of worship, that one no concern them. That you people, We carry and call, where consign, no consign them. Despite all the Western education and their religions, their influences, it is still not even enough to change their beliefs, to change their minds about the worship of this deity, the worship of python, snakes. It cannot. So in that place, it is a well-known fact. Everyone supposed to know. You don't need to be told. Everyone's supposed to know that whoever buys python will answer to the community. You know, the community will not take it kindly with you. And the burying of the python is done just like a normal human being. You must bury the python like a normal human being. It will cost you a fortune to bury a python in these areas. They don't spare punishment for any scapegoat. They don't spare anyone who tries, whether you are a visitor or not, who tries to buy python in their community. The fourth place in Nigeria where python or snakes are worshipped is a place called Yobe State. In Yobe State, there's a place called Machina. Just like in many other areas in Nigeria where snakes and pythons are revered, it is the same in that place called Machina, in the present day Yobe State, Nigeria. You know, in some parts of the state, it is an abomination to buy a python or snake in the land because it is regarded as the royal member of the household. It's seen as a member of the royal household. So the snakes in that area possesses a very dangerous venom. Those things that snakes used to spit out from its mouth. It's very dangerous. It is called venom, snake venom. Although the snake does not attack people whenever they came out. You know, they can be seen normally, like when the times they can be seen around when the royals are mourning. Maybe if somebody of royal caliber buys, when they are mourning for that person, then you begin to see the pythons around. Or maybe when they are in a celebration mode, they are celebrating something, you will still see the python around. You still see it crawling around, you know. So the python or the snakes cannot be buried because it is forbidden. It's unheard of. It is forbidden to do so in Machina, local government area of Yobe State, Nigeria. Yobe is in the north. It's in the northern Nigeria. That's where you find it. So many people thought snake worshipping is only done in the southern part of Nigeria. No, it is not true. And these areas that we are calling, it does not mean that there is no other areas in Nigeria where it is worshipped. It's just that those places are minor enclaves, you know, minor societies or group of people worshipping the thing. We are just mentioning places where they have multitude of followers, where they have a lot of people interested in the worship of python, the set of people who took python as their god. Those are the major places we are calling or we are mentioning in this video. So it's not only in the southern part of Nigeria. So even in the northern part too, some of them do worship. They do venerate, adore, and worship python as their gods. True. So the fifth and the final one or the fifth and the final place is the place called Delta State. It's in Delta State. There's a place in Delta State called Ujue. You know, it's one other place where you can find people who shares the same kind of belief with other people from, example, Enugu in Anambra State, other people from Nembe in Bayelsa State, people from Mbedi in Imo State, you know, people from Machina in Yobe State, you know, so and Ujue in Delta State. Ujue is a community in Udu local government area of the state. So it's an abomination for anyone to buy python in that area. You don't even think of it. So there was an understanding that it was the python that helped the indigenous of Ujue to escape during the time they had intertribal wars with other communities in the past. This python, these snakes helped them to escape. So it was told that the python normally uses its body on the sand to clean the footprints of the Ujue people, so that the invaders will find it very difficult to trace their hiding positions or the place they used to escape, so that the invaders will not kill them. So in appreciation, the people of Ujue decided to show the python, you know, to show appreciation to the python for saving their lives from the hands of their enemies. So they made pythons their gods to say thank you for saving us in this hour of our need. So the above mentioned states and localities are just not only places where snakes or pythons are worshipped in Nigeria. There are, you know, there are some other micro physical or spiritual entities where snakes are worshipped in Nigeria also, and many other places. So these are just the pronounced ones. You know, don't forget, no knowledge is a waste. This knowledge is not a waste. I've just repeated. You know, you must know the history of your people. You must know the history of the place where you came from. You know, if not, you will be perished. You're supposed to know this. I did not ask you to go start worshiping pythons or snakes, but for you to be informed that things like this happens around you, that things like this can take place or has been taking place in your own community, in your own state, in your own local government area. So please, do go to our comment section. Let us know what you think about this video. Do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click like on my Facebook page. Ring the notification bell. And do not forget to share. Share this video. Share this video. A lot of people will be informed if you do so. Share this video. It will help the next viewing experience to this channel. It will also help the algorithm. Bye-bye. See you in my next video. Bye.